satisfied, no pressure. I'm living my life. This is all I dream, 'cause I'm cooking with Alice. Welcome to Cooking and Things with Melraby. Baby guys, we are in the kitchen. So we all know that great cooking, great recipes may come through trial and error, and that's okay. I'm so excited to cook with you in the kitchen today. We are making red beans and rice, almond cornbread, and fried chicken. One of my favorite dishes, one of my favorite things to cook. Now you all know that I'm from New Orleans, so this is a famous Southern New Orleans cuisine that's been around for a very, very long time. Now if you've ever visited New Orleans, you all know that Mondays is red beans and rice at many of the restaurants. So we're gonna talk about how to cook up this delicious meal. I can't wait to share the recipe with you guys. My mom grew up making red beans and rice. I grew up making it one way, added a little flavor to it. Can't wait to share it with you. Meet me in the kitchen. Okay guys, so we're making red beans and rice today, and we're gonna fry some chicken with almond cornbread to complement our meal. Now the first thing is first, you want to make sure you clean your meats, okay? Now I have some chicken wingettes here in front of me. It's just about 1.5 pounds that we're gonna use today. I have my beef stew bones that we're gonna use, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. And I have my pork sausage. My andouille sausage is one of the famous meats that we use in New Orleans with our famous cuisines like red beans and rice, gumbo, and it's just the seasoning. I love the seasoning of andouille sausage that just makes the red beans taste awesome, okay? And I also have turkey sausage. This is completely optional. You can use andouille sausage or any type of pork sausage or turkey sausage, whatever floats your boat, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I've already cleaned the chicken. I used a lemon. Some people like to use lime. You can use vinegar just to kind of get rid of the germs and the bacteria. So I took a half of a lemon and I just rubbed it really good and I rinsed it with cold water, patted it dry, ready to go. So we're gonna use a Cajun poultry seasoning that I have here, and I'm just going to lightly season the chicken here. And then I'm gonna place this into the refrigerator. I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc bag. We're gonna place it in the fridge, and we're just gonna let it marinate for about 30 minutes, okay? Until that time it's time to, till it's time to fry the chicken, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and season it really good. And you don't wanna season it too much because we're gonna add some flour. We're gonna make it practical, of course, and some other ingredients. So we don't wanna overdo it with the season, okay? Okay everyone, so we have cut our sausage meat into 1/2-inch size circles, and I have my beef stew bones here. Now this is the meat we're gonna add to our red beans. Now for the beef stew bones, this is completely optional. Just growing up in my family, my mom would always add beef stew bones, pigtails, and different types of pickled meat. The only thing about that is high in sodium, okay, most of the brands. So this is completely optional. You do not have to add it if you want a healthier version of red beans and rice. If you want just to add your sausage, that's fine. Sometimes I add just the turkey sausage, okay, if I want to just delete some of the calories and the fat, that's completely fine. So we're gonna go ahead and season. I have some Meat Magic Cajun seasoning that I'm just gonna sprinkle over our beef stew bones here. And I think we're ready to start on our red beans. Okay guys, so as you can see from earlier, we rinsed our beans last night and we let them soak overnight. This is a very important process. You want to make sure you soak your beans, okay? This helps to get rid of any dirt or any additional objects that you don't want in your beans. And plus it helps to remove sugar in the beans, which causes bloating and makes it easier to digest your food. So we're gonna go ahead and rinse and drain our beans, and we're gonna add new water back to the pot, and we're gonna make sure it's about 3 inches above the beans, okay? Now, so you know, I am using the famous camellia beans, okay? If it's not camellia beans, it's not New Orleans red beans, okay? I'm just saying. So we're gonna make sure we have that red kidney beans, and when we rinse and drain our beans, we're gonna come back and we're gonna add the seasoning to it, okay?
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Okay guys, so once you have placed your pot of beans on the stove, you will add your Holy Trinity seasoning, which is your bell pepper, your celery, your onion, the Cajun way, with some fresh minced garlic as well. Now, some people like to saute the Holy Trinity before adding it to their beans, but this is going to be on the simmer for over an hour, so the seasoning will soften and mesh in, so whatever floats your boat. I've also added 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And some people like to use butter, okay, but I like to use oil because it helps to enhance the creaminess of the beans. You can use butter if you like, but whatever floats your boat, again, like I said. But trust me, this is going to be well seasoned. It's going to be creamy, very tasty, and you might want to add a pinch of salt as well, just to get the boiling process started. So now that I've added it, we've gotten it to a boiling point, okay? So now that it's at a boiling point, okay, and you can tell when it starts to bubble, I'm gonna add my pork stew bones here, okay? And we're gonna let this continue to simmer, okay, for about another 45 minutes while we start on our cornbread. Okay, so we're gonna get started on our cornbread now. I have removed our chicken from the fridge. We're gonna let it rest before we fry it. Now, with the cornbread, we're gonna make an almond cornbread, and the reason being is I love the taste of almond in my cornbread, and that has to come from growing up in New Orleans. If you go to any bakery, the signature cake has almond in it. So I just love almonds, so I thought, why not make an almond cornbread? So it's very easy to make, okay? All you need is your dry and your wet ingredients here. I have my cornmeal. I'm using all-purpose flour, or for a healthier version, you can use a white whole wheat flour, okay? It's just more nutrient dense, okay? Whatever floats your boat. I have my baking powder. I have sugar here. Now, I'm using a healthier version of sugar. I enjoy using swerve sugar in my ingredients and sweet things that I cook. So I recommend that, or you can use your sweetener of choice. It's up to you. I'm using some olive oil here. I have an egg and my almond extract with some milk, okay? This is a reduced fat milk. Now I'm gonna add a little pinch of vanilla as well. So we're gonna go ahead and just mix it all together. So I have my dry ingredients here that we're gonna mix. And also I have just a pinch of salt in here. We don't wanna forget that. And now I'm just gonna add my wet ingredients to the mixture. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and mix that really well, kind of blend it in here. Okay guys, so I'm going to coat my baking dish here with a non-stick cooking oil. I have avocado oil. That's all I have available in my cabinet, so we're gonna flow with that. You can use whatever you have available. And I'm just going to add, and by the way, my oven is set to 425 degrees, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add my cornbread, almond cornbread mixture here. You wanna make sure you get all of that good stuff all on the edges. You wanna scrape it really good. Okay. Okay, let's spread it out. Now it will rise, so we're just gonna spread this out evenly. Okay, and this is about a 9-inch baking dish. So you want to make sure you have a 9-inch baking dish for this recipe. Okay, and let me taste all of that. Balanced taste, ready to go. So we're gonna place this into the oven, guys, and we're gonna let this bake for about 20 minutes or until it's like a light golden brown color. Okay guys, so our beans have been simmering for about 30 minutes now. Now as you can see, the beans are starting to thicken a little. So we have a ways to go. Now, some people like to create a roux to make red beans. That won't be necessary with this recipe because red beans is its own natural thickening agent, okay? It's gonna thicken on its own, it's gonna be creamy. So you don't need the extra carbs by creating a roux with flour, okay? So we're gonna go ahead at this time and add just a little bit more seasoning. I have my about a tablespoon of some Cajun seasoning that I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add my bay leaf over here. About 2 of these, just to create that extra seasoning here with our herbs. and then some dried parsley. Okay, just gonna add about a couple of tablespoons of parsley. And we're just gonna mix this really well. And we're gonna top this and let this simmer for another 30 minutes, okay? Okay guys, so it's been approximately 1 hour. So as you can see, these beans have thickened, they're creamy, and they taste delicious. Okay, so at this point you want to season to taste. Okay, you want to make sure you have enough salt and pepper to your liking. And I also started my rice, so you want to go ahead and start cooking your rice at about 1 hour. We have a little bit more ways to go. I want my beef stewed bone meat here to tenderize just a little bit more, and then we're going to add our sausage meat. Okay, so we're going to let this go about another 30 minutes. Okay, and then we're going to get started on our fried chicken. Okay guys, so we're going to fry our chicken here. Now I'm using a healthier version of fried chicken, which I have this recipe in my book, Cooking Made Practical. This is a gluten-free recipe for fried chicken. I'm using a brown rice flour and tapioca starch, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and coat our seasoned chicken. Remember earlier I sprinkled a little bit of Cajun seasoning here. So we're gonna coat this and toss it into our flour, and the flour also has a little bit of seasoning here. Now remember, you want to be light on the seasoning. You don't want to overdo the seasoning, okay? And then we're going to add it to our egg and milk mixture that I have here, okay? And then we're going to coat it again with our flour, okay? And usually you can use just the flour and the milk and egg mixture, but I like to have 3 things going here, so it's not, we don't wet the flour too much. So we're gonna go ahead and add this, and we're gonna do this for each piece of chicken. And then once our oil is heated, okay, I'm using peanut oil. We're gonna add our chicken, and we're gonna fry for about 10 minutes altogether, okay? Okay guys, we're gonna fry our chicken. Our oil is hot, ready to go. Now we're gonna fry this in batches. We don't wanna overcrowd the pan, and we want the chicken to cook, to fry thoroughly, okay? So we're gonna add each piece at a time, okay? And then we'll let this fry for about 10 minutes, okay? And we'll be back. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I have to taste this. This is so good. Look at this. It's all creamy, just the way I like it, okay? And our beef stewed bone meat is very tender, so I'm ready to eat. So I have turned the fire off here, and we're just gonna top this and wait for the rest of our chicken to cook, and we're gonna enjoy our meal. Okay guys, so our dinner is ready to go. I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. We have our fried chicken here. Now this reminds me of KFC, one of my favorite recipes in my book. We have our cornbread here, smelling delicious, and we're going to add our beans to the plate. Okay, now see, this is all creamy, guys, I'm telling you, and it tastes so good. So we're just gonna go ahead and just spoon around our rice here. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of that around the edges. Make sure we get some meat. I got my beef stewed bone meat here. Okay, we want to get a little bit of that. Okay, with our beans. All right, just a little bit messy, but do it. as you can see, we have already started digging in. So I'm going to dig in with my portion, okay? I'm gonna taste this here with my beans. I want a little bit of sausage here. This is so good. It's very well seasoned. And our beef stew meat here, bone meat, is tender. I'm gonna taste some of this chicken. Has a balanced flavor. I can't tell that I'm using brown rice flour. This is delicious. So guys, if you like this recipe, Cooking Made Practical, okay? You can order your copy on my Linktree, Amazon. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. I hope to see you next time on Cooking and Things with Melraby Baby.
Satisfied.